I just think that what's going on here, Carl, is the revolution that Jensen Huang has been talking about, where machines can do a lot of things better than humans, is now here, 24 and 25.
We just heard from Costas and Al Michaels talking about voices getting copied.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. No, it's all very easy. And what's going on, we heard this was going to happen. This is video, and video is Blackwell. Video is Blackwell, and Blackwell's going to be shipping in volume, and I don't know whether...
Video
the rumor is that Zuckerberg would have taken everything.
I don't know if you can, but you've got to try to explain what that means. Video is Blackwell. First of all, Blackwell is a chip that is yet to ship, but will ship from NVIDIA, the next generation. But what does video mean?
No,
what do you mean?
No, you haven't. You're guilty. I'm pleading guilty right now.
All right.
You're a witness to the prosecution.
So now's your opportunity to explain.
Tyrone Power is so cool. Okay, so right now we have a lot of print. Remember when Jensen Huang told me, of course you don't, that they can download Moby Dick in 1 second?
Yes.
Well,
read it in 1 second.
Read it, right. Yeah. Now they're going to be able to do a video, and you'll be able to recall video. Now, look, Adobe has a solution that's really terrific right now. You can use Firefly, and it's terrific.
So how's that going to change our business?
I thought he was a hologram.
So that's
why I'm answering a hologram. What is Carl, which of the three of us is a hologram?
I think we all know.
I think we do too, Jim.
Yeah. That's all right. He's out. No, because what's happening is that you can say, look, I need a great ad. And then that's the end. I mean, you used to have a bake-off, you had advertising. Not only that, they'll change the ad literally every second if it would help.
Yeah.
Who needs an agency? Now, of course, agencies are going to say, you do. But I think that what what he's trying to do is say, look, now we have video. We can change video every second. So why would you ever advertise anywhere else? This is a threat to YouTube even. And we know YouTube was allegedly hobbled in the previous quarter.
Yeah.
Well, but that move in NVIDIA was extraordinary. I mean, again, when you're talking about adding $328 billion in market value, you're basically talking about adding in one day more than the market cap of how many of the 500 S&P companies?
Okay.
Probably, 470 of them.
Let me give you another statistic. Carl lost $800 billion from peak to trough, which is bigger than all but 7 stocks in the market. So it's not like it made back all that it's lost yet. Not at all.
What do we make of the ARM and the Western Dig guidance today?
They have this Internet of Things stuff that is, we'll talk to Renee Haas, surprisingly weak. And it's quizzical. By the way, it wasn't like Qualcomm was spared either. I mean, Renee actually, it was a CFO, dropped this kind of mini bomb saying, well, of course, like Internet of Things wasn't that strong. I said, whoa, I didn't know that. Right. It was new to me.
Okay. Bill, you added to NVIDIA. Speaking of stocks that have been down a bunch of late, again, it was a winner yesterday, but if you looked at, let's say a couple-week chart, of NVIDIA, it's been what, from 135 post split down to $100 or just north of that, so it's down yet another 5% today.
I don't feel when I do something like that I need to catch the bottom, but what we saw earlier in the week, what we saw on Tuesday after Microsoft's report, it felt like capitulation in the market, and I felt like there was just indiscriminate selling in NVIDIA, and then the type of momentum that took hold yesterday, obviously a lot of that has died out, but the way I look at that is we trimmed NVIDIA at 130, announced it on the show. We trimmed Micron by 25% at 155, announced that on the show. Tesla at 250. So there was cash ready to go back into this, waiting for some sort of what felt like panic selling capitulation, so topped NVIDIA back up and make it right there in the top 3 of our names.
You said, what was it, a couple days ago? I think it was on Tuesday, how this was the most important chart or that everybody was watching NVIDIA.
Still.
So it's been volatile. What do you have to say now?
So you had this post-earnings gap that I think takes the stock down into the 90s. Yesterday had a huge day to the upside. I would call that a kick save for the stock. Today, look, I would tell you, I think Bill would agree, the volatility here is insane. This is a casino. You're talking about billions of dollars worth of options trading in one stock. This is a $3 trillion company that has the beta of a microcap. It really makes no sense the extent to which this stock is moving up or down on a day-to-day basis. I think ultimately it'll quiet down, but I guess not yet. They still want to play here. So a lot of the intraday stuff you're seeing in NVIDIA, this is important. A lot of the intraday stuff you're seeing here in NVIDIA is related to zero-day option expiration, weekly option. It has nothing to do with fundamentals. And so if you're going to be in this name, it's really important not to let any one day's activity jar you or get you to do something that you otherwise wouldn't. Just understand, it's noise trading.
100% agree with that. And my plan was, after trimming it, to make sure I get more back on. And I've said it, I think I even said it on the show, I would love to see NVIDIA trade down to 110 area. I want to ramp this position back up ahead of its earnings report. I think they're going to have a terrific earnings report a couple weeks out, because I mentioned the Huawei issue. They're not able to produce the chip demand and meet with the Chinese companies. I don't think it's a coincidence that last week we saw NVIDIA announce that they're going to have a China-centric chip to meet regulations. I think they're doing that to meet the demand.
The other chip stock we need to talk about is Broadcom.
Yeah.
Because it's a new position for you. When did you establish it and why?
Established it yesterday as well in the morning, ahead of the Fed, but as we're waiting for seeing this momentum turn. Yeah, it's down 5% here today. It's a very tactical play. From a technical standpoint, it went back down to this previous highs that we had in April and May. There's a gap from its earnings report we tested into. And yesterday was back above the 50-day moving average. So technically, I like that momentum shift that we saw. They're right there in the thick of the chip trade. And I think what we saw yesterday shows that. So yeah, I'm not happy with where we see things today, and keep an eye on things very closely, but that's what we did.
All right.
All right, today was a rough day for the entire market, and we have some news to cover about NVIDIA, so let's dive right in. So a couple days ago, the entire market was super anxious heading into mega-cap tech earnings. AMD reported solid earnings and upped their guidance. Microsoft's earnings were not perceived well initially, but then they had a really great conference call that gave the entire market a sigh of relief, which lasted into yesterday. This was also great for NVIDIA because Microsoft is NVIDIA's largest customer. Then yesterday afternoon, we got multiple bullish comments from Fed Chair Jerome Powell indicating that a rate cut in September is on the table. And after that, we got Meta earnings that were really good yesterday after market close. So what changed since then? This morning, we got a slew of bad economic data that caused the entire market to worry that we may be entering a recession. I made a short community post today describing this in more detail, so feel free to check the community tab on this channel if you want to read that. So the entire market, including NVIDIA, took a beating today because of that bad economic data. I want to mention something very important about NVIDIA though. Microsoft upped their CapEx spending by about $10 billion, Meta upped their guidance for CapEx spending, and Amazon also reported earnings today with higher than expected CapEx numbers. This is all very good news for NVIDIA because higher CapEx from these hyperscalers ultimately means more money going to NVIDIA. So I am long-term bullish on the future of NVIDIA. Amazon mentioned AI many times in their earnings release today, saying that they launched new AI features this quarter, and it's clear that they definitely see the value in investing in AI. So back on June 20th and 21st, I told you I was expecting softening in NVIDIA's price and choppy price action, likely lasting into mid to late July. We got that. I also told you that I was expecting pre-anticipatory running in NVIDIA as we entered August, as we get closer to their next earnings report on August 28th. Now I want to mention something very important, and please hear me clearly. I'm not sure whether we will see pre-anticipatory running in August or not at this point. Why? Because of the rest of the market. If the rest of the market is fearful throughout August about a potential recession, then that would weigh down on NVIDIA. So, for now, I am patiently watching to see what happens next. We'll see tomorrow morning how the market reacts to Apple and Amazon's earnings, and we also get more economic data tomorrow morning. I will say that I'm impressed by how well NVIDIA is holding up in after hours trading at the time of this recording because Amazon is down, Apple is down, and Intel is getting absolutely hammered. So I am bullish on the long-term future of NVIDIA, especially as more companies guide up their CapEx spending. That being said, I am cautious right now in the short term because I am genuinely concerned about the rest of the market, specifically the market's reaction to economic factors. With all of that being said, I'm curious to know your thoughts on NVIDIA in the comments below. Please leave a like on this video so more people will see it. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.